We've made it to the quarterfinals, and I know, yes, there was some controversy to get here. That's part of it. But if we're being honest for a second, it actually feels good to see some new faces on this stage. Think about it. Ole Miss, years of almost, years of being close but not quite getting through the door. And now they finally kick it down. Or Miami, the team people love to hate. A program that once ruled college football fell hard and is finally back in the conversation where it believes it belongs. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't know exactly what to expect when Kalen DeBoer stepped in at Alabama. Not because I doubted him as a coach, I didn't. But Alabama fans have zero patience. And honestly, they've earned that right. They have two coaches sitting comfortably in the GOAT conversation. Then you've got Texas Tech. Everyone wants to talk about buying rosters and how NIL is ruining the sport, but that's missing the real point. It's not about how much money you spend, it's about who you bring in. Talent acquisition matters, evaluation matters. You can throw money around all day, but if you bring in the wrong guys, you're staring at 2-10 instead of 10-2. All I'm saying is this: college football is in a very good place. Parity is healthy. And yeah, the debates about deserving best in the playoff format probably suck some of the oxygen out of the early rounds. But these matchups, this is what college football playoff is supposed to feel like. At some point this season, every one of these teams were ranked inside of the top four. So there's no question. We've got the best teams in the country about to line it up. Now let's talk about these games and how I actually think they'll play out. The Cotton Bowl, Ohio State versus Miami. This one feels like a stress test, not for talent, for patience. This is about whether the favorite handles business or lets doubt creep in. Here's what stands out to me with Ohio State. This defense is real, veteran, disciplined, and comfortable suffocating games. They don't need fireworks. They're fine winning ugly. What I keep coming back to is Julian Sain. When he's efficient and on time, this whole thing feels almost unfair because the defense gives him such a wide margin of error. Jeremiah Smith on the outside is a matchup problem. If Miami has to shade help his way, Ohio State offense can open up fast. This is where I pause though. The offense can disappear in stretches. We've seen it. If they settle for field goals or miss a chance to separate, they invite pressure. Miami is stubborn. And I mean that as a compliment. They're comfortable playing rock fight football, defense, field position, patience. That Texas A&M game wasn't a fluke. That's their blueprint. For them, Carson Beck doesn't have to be Superman. He just needs to protect the ball and hit a couple vertical shots. That's the lifeline. The worry is finishing drives. Against this defense, empty possessions, they'll pile up fast. What factors can swing this matchup? If Ohio State turns dominance into touchdowns, if Miami dictates field position and forces Ohio State into long fields, turnovers either way flips the entire script. They will be amplified in a game like this. A few final points. This feels like a tense, low scoring game where every point matters. If you're Ohio State, the fear is letting them hang around. If you're Miami, the fear is your defense plays great and it still isn't enough. The ESPN matchup predictor gives Ohio State a 70.5% chance to win this game, and the Buckeyes are favored by 9.5, with the over-under set at 42.5. I'm taking Ohio State to win the game, but Miami covers. I trust the Buckeyes defense to control the game. I don't trust the offense to separate. This game finishes under the total. Who do you trust more late? The Ohio State offense or the Miami defense? Let me know and drop your predictions down in the comments as well. All right. The Orange Bowl, Texas Tech versus Oregon. This one feels volatile because it's strength on strength, and neither side wants to blink first. Oregon is at its best when its balanced run game sets the tone. Dante Moore takes calculated shots, and the tempo comes in waves. Moore is the whole thing for me. If he's willing to take the easy stuff early and let the explosives come later, they're dangerous. But here's the concern. When the run game gets shut down, Oregon has looked human. That matters against this defense. Texas Tech is nasty on defense. There's no follow up to that. Like, they're just nasty. They want to wreck the run, force long downs, and let Jacob Rodriguez blow things up. Offensively, Baron Morton is the key. This can't turn into hero ball. If he stays patient, Tech can absolutely win this outright. The concern is pace. If Oregon finds rhythm early, can Tech keep up? What factors will I be watching closely in this game? Can Oregon run the ball at all? Can Tech avoid a slow offensive start? Third downs. Whoever owns them controls the game. A final thought before my pick. This feels like a game that swings on adjustments. If it stays tight into the fourth, Tech is dangerous. If Oregon gets breathing room, their depth shows. The ESPN matchup predictor gives Texas Tech a 51.6% chance to win the game, but Oregon is favored by 2.5 with the over-under set at 52.5. Oregon wins and covers the 2.5. Too many ways to beat you, and just enough discipline to survive the defensive punch. I think this game hits the over. Do you trust elite defense or balanced offense more in this spot? Let me know in the comments and drop your predictions while you're down there. All right. The Rose Bowl game. Indiana versus Alabama. This matchup messes with people emotionally because it forces you to choose old reliable or the new kid on the block. Indiana wants to make you earn everything. Physical fronts, long drives, no freebies. Fernando Mendoza is the calm hand. If he stays on schedule, Indiana controls the game. The upside isn't flashy, but the ceiling is high. The worry is explosiveness. If they fall behind early, this isn't a team built to sprint. Alabama is volatility. Ty Simpson, Jeremy Bernard, when it's clicking, it looks unstoppable. But the mistakes come with the penalties, stall drives, missed assignments. Against a team that doesn't beat itself, those things can get magnified. Let me get your take on a couple swing points. Do you think Alabama can hit explosives without making mistakes and giving the game away? Can Indiana keep Alabama behind the chains? Which team do you think is better equipped to bounce back from a turnover? My final thoughts. This feels like a game of patience. Indiana wants 4 clean quarters. Alabama wants 2 chaotic ones. The ESPN matchup predictor gives Indiana a 71.4% chance to win the game, and the Hoosiers are favored by 6.5 points, with the over-under set at 48.5. I'm taking Indiana to win and cover the 6.5 over 4 quarters. I trust consistency more than volatility. If you're a Bama fan, what scares you more? Indiana's discipline or your own mistakes? Let me know in the comments and drop your predictions while you're down there as well. The Sugar Bowl, Georgia versus Ole Miss. We saw this game play out back in October, and that's exactly why it's so intriguing. Georgia is back in bully ball mode, dominating defense, patient offense, Perfectly fine winning 24-13. That front seven is the story. They've turned run games into non-factors late in the year. The pause is offense. If Georgia falls behind, there's no instant flip the switch gear. However, against Ole Miss, the first time around, they did rattle off 17 fourth-quarter points and a comeback win. Ole Miss is controlled chaos now, still explosive, but more balanced. The run game is everything. If it disappears, this can get predictable fast. They've shown they can stretch Georgia, but sustaining it is another thing. Let's talk some matchup swing points. Can Ole Miss run the ball at all? Is something I'll be watching early. Can Georgia handle an early tempo surge? Who has more depth and physicality late? My final thought. This feels like a game where Ole Miss makes it fun until Georgia takes it over. The ESPN matchup predictor gives Georgia a 60.1% chance to win the game, and the Bulldogs are favored by 6.5 with the over-under set at 55.5. My pick is Georgia wins and covers the points. Experience, defense, and depth win out again. Do you think Ole Miss can land the knockout, or does Georgia always survive the storm? Let me know in the comments and drop your picks and your score predictions while you're down there. Those are my picks. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and help us grow. Share this video with a friend. It helps us reach more crazy, fanatic college football fans like you and me. I'll catch you on the next one.